Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Hashtag AskGSM, the weekly Monday mailbag video where you send in your questions from Facebook and Twitter, and I answer them right here in this video forum. First and foremost, I apologize for the shitty video quality. I have come to the conclusion that I will be using my phone to film the longer videos in terms of other vlogs and whatever, but because I got to get this video up quick on Monday mornings and whatnot, I got to film it with my computer. So first off and foremost, I'd just like to apologize for the shitty quality, but nonetheless, we got this week's questions. I'm kicking it off. We got a lot of questions this week, so I got to go quick. So I apologize if I can't go in depth with each question this week. But the first question comes from Jared J. from Facebook. His question is, after injuring both Lionheart and Roderick Strong with it, should AJ Styles retire the Styles Clash? Personally, I like the Styles Clash, but it's not about me. It's about the health of the wrestlers. And after breaking the necks of 2 wrestlers in the last few months, which is very surprising too, because you didn't see a lot of people get injured with it in TNA. I know there were a few people here and there, but not 2 people within the span of a few months. So I don't know if I don't think it's their fault, the people who took it, Lionheart and Roderick Strong, and especially given the fact that Roderick Strong is a veteran in the business. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. I think he should retire it. It's not about me and my liking of the move. It's about the health of the wrestler. So yes, I think he should retire it because it's almost broken the necks, or it has broken the necks of 2 separate wrestlers in the last few months. So yes, I believe it should be retired, unfortunately. Ross S. asked, in your SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 General Manager mode, what would you consider to be your greatest card? Best question I've ever gotten. But no, all kidding aside, I would have to say there's a lot of different cards that I've had over the last few years, since 2001 to 2004 in the game, that I thought were absolutely awesome. And I can't go down every card that I've had, but one of the more recent ones at my 2004 Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and right now I just past WrestleMania in 2004, or what I like to call 2004 in my GM mode, it consisted of it consisted of Batista putting up his year-long reign as World Heavyweight Champion on the line against The Undertaker. It had John Cena versus Triple H for the first time ever in the game for the WWE Championship. I had the 30-man Royal Rumble match, which was won by Shawn Michaels, who had been hoping to get a WWE title match for over a year. I also had Edge and Mr. Kennedy unseating Chris Benoit and RVD for the World Tag Team titles, and also Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle in a last man standing match. So I thought that was a very stacked card for my game in Royal Rumble. And we had the WWE title changing hands, the world title stayed put. So I thought it was a great card, and that's probably one of my better ones that comes to my mind off the top of my head. His second question was, what are your thoughts on the current plans from the fans to hijack this upcoming Raw in Chicago? I can get in a whole rant on this, but I just think it's stupid. Creating a Twitter account for it, I just think is asinine. Chants are fun. Don't get me wrong. If you paid your money to get into the show, chant whatever the hell you want. I encourage it. It's cool. It's nice. But creating a Twitter account and planning to hijack the show, who gives a shit? Who really cares? Even if you're chanting for CM Punk, and this is one thing I don't really get. If you're chanting for Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan, have be it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But if you're chanting for CM Punk, and this is coming from a huge CM Punk fan, he walked out on us. He left on his own. WWE is doing everything they can to get him back in the WWE. And I mean, that could all deem irrelevant by the end of tonight if he ends up returning, which I got a few questions on that as well. But chanting for him is just stupid. He left on his own. Don't say bring back Punk because it's not up to WWE. It makes no sense. Don't get me wrong. I will be entertained, thoroughly entertained by the chants. I will have fun along with you guys, regardless of whether I'm in the building or not. But it's just stupid. Like last week when they were chanting during the Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns match. Why? It's unnecessary. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to chant during an Authority promo or an Orton promo or a Cena match, maybe go ahead, have at it, because it doesn't matter, because those things are boring and should change anyway. We need change. We need young blood in the WWE. But you get that young blood in the Shield versus the Wyatts, in Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, and you chant stupid shit. Why? That doesn't make any sense to me. So the whole plan to hijack the show tonight, I think, is dumb. I will have fun watching it, and don't get me wrong, but just the fact that you want to hijack WWE is just stupid. You already paid your money. They got your money from you, especially if you ordered the network like I did. I just stopped complaining because I ordered the network. I got what I wanted. I already gave my money. Why should I complain? So I don't get that. I think it's just stupid. His third question was, what is your greatest WWE entrance music? Christian's is third. CM Punk's Cult of Personality is second. First, and undoubtedly, my favorite theme of all time, Hulk Hogan's Real American Brother. That's my favorite theme of all time. Andre G from Facebook asked, Do you think Mystico would have been more successful if he went to NXT before being called up? Absolutely, yes. He had no training. I mean, he's an awesome wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He was an awesome wrestler down in Mexico, and his reputation was amazing. But he just wasn't used to the WWE style, and he couldn't even speak English. That's what his biggest downfall was. So had he gone to NXT first, or FCW, or whatever the hell it was at the time, yes, I think he could have been a much more bigger success on the main roster than he has been. And he's gone, too. Mystico's gone, and Tunico underneath the mask now, so his WWE run was pretty much a giant flop. The next question comes from Victor T. from Facebook. His question was, what was the worst WWE pay-per-view of 2013? Undoubtedly Battleground. Battleground was so terrible. The saving grace of that show had to be the tag team match between the Road Brothers and the Shield, which was amazing. A great, great tag team match. Everything else sucked balls. It was terrible. The RVD and Del Rio match is very good. That was a good opener to the show, but everything else was terrible. It was so bad to the point where I didn't even watch it live. That was the first pay-per-view in I think maybe 3 or 4 years that I did not watch live. I wasted 3 hours of my time the next day watching it on DVR, on record, on replay, whatever. But I was so glad that I did not waste my time watching that live as it happened because it was terrible. So Battleground by far is the worst show of 2013. Hopefully they don't bring that back. Paul asked a few questions. His question was, what would be the best plan for the Shield? It's apparent that Roman Reigns is on his way to stardom, but I also love Ambrose and Rollins. And his other questions included, will they kick Roman and replace him with either Mason Ryan or Leo Kruger? Will they be like the NWO or the Nexus, whose factions eventually got new members time after time and slowly died away? And also his third question was not really a Shield-related question, but do you think we could see a debut on the Raw after Mania? I'm talking about Sting. So you got a whole bunch of questions in one. As it relates to the Shield, when they eventually get rid of Roman Reigns and he breaks out on his own, either you keep Ambrose and Rollins together as a tag team, as the Shield by itself, or you just separate them. I don't think there's any use in bringing in Mason Ryan, which would be terrible. Mason Ryan, I like him, but he's horrendous in the ring. So no, Leo Kruger, that'd be cool, but he's Adam Rose now, so it doesn't even matter. They shouldn't replace Roman Reigns with anybody. It wouldn't be the same. These guys have such great chemistry together that it cannot be recreated. So just split up the faction when it eventually breaks up, either tonight on Raw or sometime the next few weeks, months, year, whatever. Just let it go. So don't add new members over time. That's the whole issue with why the Nexus died down as quick as it did, because they added in new members. I love CM Punk, but when he took over, it was a train wreck from that point forward. As it goes for the Raw after Mania, should we see a debut? I would love to see Sting debut on the Raw after Mania. I would love to see him debut at WrestleMania, but I think I had the same thoughts about Brock Lesnar showing up at Mania 28, and he didn't. He showed up the next time on Raw, and it was that much bigger of a moment because it was a smaller arena, bigger crowd, or not a bigger crowd, but a bigger reaction. It didn't, it wasn't overshadowed by anything. Lesnar's return would have been overshadowed by Rock and Cena by far. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool if Sting showed up on the Raw after Mania this year. That'd be amazing. I think we could also see, what's his name? I almost called him Vladimir Kozlov. Alexander Rusev debuted the night after Mania this year. I think it's been talked about, so that'd be cool too, I guess. Next question comes from Rick Z. His question was, how would you have booked Truth's heel turn back in 2011? He talked about turning heel on Jomo, match for the WWE title, match against Cena, tag team with The Miz, etc., etc. I don't think I would have changed anything at all. I think the heel turn was perfectly booked. I think the way they executed it was great. That night in England when he was smoking and beating the hell out of Jomo, I thought that was great. The tag team, not the tag team, that was with Miz. That was great. The title feud with Cena I thought was fine for what it was. No one thought he was actually going to win the championship. He's not WWE title material. But the push that he got for that first few months of his heel turn was pretty cool. But his tag team with The Miz I really enjoyed. The only thing that would have changed was not turning him face. Because what is he doing now? Honestly, like 2 years later, what is he doing that's relevant? I think it just would have kept him heel. So that's the only thing I probably would have changed. Now time for the Twitter questions. I got to run through these, so I apologize if I don't get into them in depth. JJF tweets, his first question was, thoughts on the Great Muta competing at TNA Lockdown? I heard yesterday, actually, that he canceled the agreement to appear at the event. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. I just saw someone tweet it on Twitter. I tried to look for confirmation. I didn't see anything, so I'm not really sure. As of now, I still think he's going to be there. But if he is going to be there, I think it's really cool. I have yet to see the Great Muta wrestle. I know of him, of course. I know who he is, but I have yet to see him wrestle in a live action matchup. So I look forward to seeing him compete at Lockdown. It's a great relationship that that TNA has with Wrestle One. I think it's beneficial for both companies, so I look forward to it. His next question was, given his history as one in WCW and AWA, should DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, return to WWE as a manager? If so, who would benefit from him? He's making so much money off the DDP yoga that I don't even think he needs a gig in WWE. I like to see him from time to time in WWE when he comes in to plug random stuff, like at Old School Raw when we saw him a couple months ago. But aside from that, I don't really think we need to see him on WWE. I almost said DDP TV on WWE TV. I think it'd be cool if he showed up as a manager, but he's making so much money with his DDP yoga and so consumed with that, and it's a huge success, that he doesn't really need to be on WWE TV. And if he was a manager, I think it'd be cool because, he's a very successful manager back in the day, as you said, but for whom, I have no idea. Butler90, his question was, if Punk returns tomorrow, as in today, is he in the main event at Mania? If so, why? He's not going to win purely for babyface's sake. Of course, he probably wouldn't win because he just came back. I mean, he walked out of the company. I think it'd be cool if he won, but as a Punk fan. But I think he will be in the main event of Mania if he comes back, as Triple H is already kind of dealing with Daniel Bryan at the moment, and they need a babyface in the matchup. It will not stay Orton versus Batista. That is a foregone conclusion. So yes, I think he should be inserted into the WWE title match, if only because we need a babyface in it. The next question comes from CM Punk Fan X, or ex-CM Punk Fan X. His question was, do you think there's a way for the WWE to salvage the WrestleMania 30 main event without Bryan or Punk? No, because then no one else makes sense. Bryan or Punk, I mean, they're the IWC favorites and everything, but who else can you insert into that match that would make sense? Sheamus wouldn't make sense. Cena's already consumed with Bray Wyatt. There's really no one else that comes to mind that makes sense. So you need to put Bryan or Punk in there. And if you don't, the match is screwed, because you can't have a heel versus heel match with Batista now a heel, and you can't turn Randy Orton face. That'd be stupid at this point in time. No one's going to cheer him. So you might as well, you have to put Bryan or Punk in there. I don't even know if Punk's coming back. I'm still skeptical that he's going to come back tonight on Raw, but we'll wait and see. And the final three questions come from the Average Grunt. First question was, King of the Ring, should it become a WrestleMania thing, or should it replace Money in the Bank as a lead into SummerSlam like in 2002? I like the latter idea more, if only because it would probably be overshadowed at WrestleMania. That'd be a cool concept. I just want the King of the Ring tournament back in general. But yeah, put Money in the Bank back at WrestleMania, because there's only one title now, so put that match at WrestleMania, and then make the tournament its own pay-per-view as a lead into SummerSlam, as you said, and give the winner of that tournament a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. So I love it that way. Next question also relates to Money in the Bank. He said, do you think the concept of Money in the Bank has gotten stale? If so, how would you freshen it up? I don't think the match has gotten stale. The concept, maybe a little bit. I am still very shocked whenever someone cashes in. I love that concept of it. I'm not any less bored by it than I was, many years ago when I first started watching the product. So I love it. Should they change it up? Maybe. I mean, Damian Sandow lost, so that's one way of freshening it up. Or people announcing beforehand, which we've gotten in the past. So, no, I don't think it's really gotten all that stale. I think it's gotten maybe a little stale, but should they get rid of it? No. And how should they freshen it up? Have some people lose every once in a while, or, cash in beforehand, or announce they're going to cash in beforehand. Final question, in your opinion, where's the line? Where should the line be drawn when it comes to what fans demand of the wrestlers and promotions? Don't exactly know what you mean by that, but if you're talking about, like, should we bring Punk back? It's not really up to the WWE. Should you demand for change by the WWE? Of course. But, I mean, if you keep on pouring money into them regardless, I don't think they really care all that much. But if you demand a wrestler to do a certain move or something, like, oh, this wrestler should have done that. But, I mean, you got to think about their overall health. So I don't really know exactly what you're getting at, but you really should think about the overall picture and the business aspect and the health aspect of the wrestlers and the promotions before you demand something of them. So with all that being said, thanks for sending in the question, guys. If you want to send in a question, make sure to tweet me on Twitter at WrestleRant with the hashtag AskGSM. Like me on Facebook at GrahamGSMMatthews. Or you can now leave a comment in the section below, in the comments below, and I will also include it in next week's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe as well. And this is GSM, signing out. Till next time, guys.